we're here at World Hydrogen North America 2024, and I'm joined by David Alonso, who's the Chief Commercial Officer at HyAxiom, who are our platinum sponsor this year. So David,
yes.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
So David, please feel free to just say a few words about HyAxiom and the developments that's been going on over the last couple of weeks.
Sure, thank you for having me. So HyAxiom is a Connecticut-based, US-based manufacturer of fuel cells and electrolyzers. We've been in existence for over 60 years. We are part of Daesan Corp. Daesan is a large Korean conglomerate, and really excited to be here at the show today.
Thank you so much. So I'm just going to ask a few questions, if
Sure.
that's okay. Can you tell us a bit about the projects that you presented this week?
Sure, absolutely. So this week I had the opportunity to present the Daesan Green Energy Project, which is a 50 megawatt pure hydrogen input fuel cell project that we participated in Korea. It's a project that's been in operation since 2020. So really excited to come here today at a show like this to talk not just about hydrogen production, but also hydrogen utilization. So really excited about the opportunities that presents here in the United States. In that particular case, that project is unique in that it's byproduct hydrogen. Certainly, regardless of what the source of hydrogen is, the fuel cells that we develop and manufacture are capable of utilizing that for any number of applications. In that particular case, Daesan Green Energy is a utility scale project in Korea, produces electricity, heat that's utilized by the local utility. Other applications could include anything from universities, data centers, so again, just a really wide variety of opportunities for the application of that product.
That's great, thank you David. And what do you think is the biggest challenge at the moment for hydrogen projects wanting to reach FID?
Sure, so certainly a lot of tailwinds over the last couple of years. Everybody's familiar with the bipartisan infrastructure law that provided funding for hydrogen hubs, so certainly that gives a lot of momentum for the development on the production side. And then of course the Inflation Reduction Act, which provided production tax credit incentives that certainly are still being worked out. So even though I mentioned that as a tailwind, certainly there are still some headwinds as we look to finalize what the rules are for things such as 45V. So regardless of that, there are still projects that are moving forward. What I mentioned before was primarily focused on green hydrogen, but certainly as you look at the different hubs around the United States, the sourcing of hydrogen could be anything from blue, utilizing natural gas with carbon capture. We're also engaged with a few companies looking at geological hydrogen. So the ability to actually harvest hydrogen from the earth and what we could do, what kind of products we could design and provide for that application as well.
Brilliant, that's great. And lastly, just to finish, when it comes to offtake for clean hydrogen, which industry do you think will be the first mover?
Sure, so I think the obvious choice would be the current users of hydrogen today. So we're here in Houston on the Gulf Coast of the United States. There are a lot of current and existing users. There's already over 1,600 miles of hydrogen pipeline that exist, supporting the industries that exist here today on the Gulf Coast. So certainly that's kind of a first primary target, but as I mentioned before, the sectors that could utilize hydrogen are wide and vast. So I mentioned data centers, obviously they're a very large consumer. Universities, hospitals, I think the big thing is a matter of how you can actually deliver the hydrogen to these end users. So I think there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of potential there. I think the technology in terms of hydrogen production and as I said before, hydrogen utilization in the case of fuel cells won't be the limiting factor. I do think it ultimately will be the infrastructure, the delivery of hydrogen to each of these users and how we can accelerate that.
Great, thank you so much. So yeah, thank you David for those questions and thank you also to the wider HyAxiom team. It's been great to have you here as our platinum sponsors this year.